So now let's move to the next segment, and we call it a rapid fire. So basically, how that works is I say something and tell me the first thing that comes to your mind, and you're more than welcome to elaborate more if you wish to. And should we start?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Future of work.
The future of work is digital, and people have the wrong skills.
Technology.
Exponential change. I think the last 20 years have been unlike anything in the history of the world, including the Industrial Revolution, and it's just accelerating.
Leadership.
Vision and inspiration over control and direction.
Remote work.
Be deliberate. Know what it's good for and what it's not, and design around that. I think that we get our thinking caught in the binary, I want to be back in the office or I want to be fully remote. And I think the reality of the future is somewhere in the middle. But making sure those times when you are in the office, you're super deliberate about why you're in the office and what you want to get out of it, whether it's solving a hard problem, whether it's creative problem solving, whether it's team building or just social. Like, be deliberate about it, and think about like what is effective versus binary A or B.
Awesome. Equity.
There are major inequities still, especially in tech. Women comprise 26% of the tech workforce, and they are nearly 50% of the total workforce. So we have a lot of work to do to make sure we have broad representation in these future forward jobs and skills. People are paid fairly. And, as one example of this, we have run scholarship programs in Saudi Arabia. 2/3 of our recipients are women. So we're helping build a female tech economy in a country that didn't really have that before.
On that, I love to know one point of view. So as a platform that delivers these training platforms capabilities, so confidence, right? So sure, you can train someone to do certain things, but I think in many areas, many of these diversity candidates or diversity portfolios, they require more help. So when you deliver on technology, how do you ensure? I'm curious, like how do you ensure that they end up like the other segments that are critical for success are also delivered?
It's a really important point. It's not just providing the technical training. It's providing the social support structures around it. So in these programs, the programs are often custom built, based on the specific situation. But we will have community sessions built in for their peers to work with their peers and to support each other. We'll have sessions built in, live sessions with session leaders who will help them think about, how do you actually land a job or develop your confidence and interview skills, or develop your freelancing skills, or it's one thing to learn how to do something like coding. It's another thing to actually go out and get a job, and it's another thing to work with others around you to help you through the hard times. And so it really is about that supported journey.
Thank you. Diversity.
Tech companies have totally failed on building a diverse workforce. African Americans represent 3% of Silicon Valley tech company employees, or 13% of the total workforce. And we need to go beyond just lip service and hoping for the best to actually doing something about it. Our partnership with 110 is one great example of things we can tangibly do to increase the available population of talented minority workers. And we just got to stop putting our resources and our lip service where it's not effective and start putting it where it is effective.
Interesting. Legislature.
Completely ineffective, stuck in old ideas, fighting battles from the past and not the future.
Pretty harsh there, but
True.
it's true. Unfortunately, it's true. Jobs of future.
Machine learning, cloud, autonomous systems, cybersecurity.
Future of learning.
The future of learning is smaller chunks, tech forward, and employable.
Things that keep you up at night.
Our inability in the United States to have a civil conversation about differing ideas across the political aisle.
Fair point. That's well put. So thank you for playing that, and thank you for bearing through this. Now let's talk quickly about your personal journey, right? So
Okay.
we ask all of our guests to share some qualities that has really helped them shape what they have become. Like, what are some of those qualities that has helped you be what you are today?
Yep. Great. I'd say three things that come to mind that I've kind of lived by is number one, be curious. Don't just do what's asked. Ask yourself, what is the right question? And, what big problems can I solve? So just really dig in and be curious with everything. The second is when in doubt, do what's right and the rewards will eventually follow, right? So don't just run towards your bonus, but run towards what's right for the business, and everything else will catch up. And then the final thing is don't accept failure. Keep fighting. Be tenacious. Have grit. Don't give up.
Thank you for sharing that. And now, some of your favorite reads. So we ask all of our guests to share some of the books that has really helped shape their point of view, or they're currently reading. So are there any
Yeah.
some books that you can share for our listeners and viewers?
I love No Rules by Reed Hastings, who's the CEO of Netflix. They have built a really singular culture, and it's a culture built around talent. And when you have what he calls talent density, which is when you look around the room and everyone is at the top of their game and performing that way, you don't actually need rules, right? Because they have judgment and they can make decisions. And it's completely freeing and liberating as an organization. And so I read that book, and I probably, had already developed about 70% of the ideas in my kind of personal style. But he helped push my thinking and really solidify, talent as a strategy.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So last but not the least, so if you want some thing that our listeners and viewers can take away from this conversation, what would that be? Like, what would be your parting thought?
So it's really simple. Our workforce is going through the most insane transformation in the history of the world. Companies, as a result, are facing huge talent and skills shortages. There literally are millions of unfilled and unfillable roles in digital jobs because the workers just aren't there. Those companies and those nations that fail to procure the right high skill digital talent will fail. 50% of the Fortune 500 no longer exists, largely due to digital transformation or failing there. Companies like BlackBerry, Kodak, Blockbuster, and others. The companies that actually navigate this well, who effectively transform their talent in their organization to leading edge digital skills, they are going to be the leaders of the next century. And the choice is yours. Do you want to go the way of Blockbuster, or do you want to go the way of Netflix?